Who is telling the truth about the riots? Elon Musk or Sir Keir Starmer? It's time now for the head-to-head. An almighty war of words has broken out between Elon Musk and the Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, after Musk claimed on Monday that the violent riots sweeping the UK meant that, quote, civil war is inevitable. So the Prime Minister slammed the comments, claiming there was no justification for it. But the billionaire owner of X, formerly Twitter, hasn't backed down, has he? After hundreds of Muslim men violently attacked a pub and an individual man in Birmingham last night, Musk today took to the social media platform to ask the Prime Minister, why aren't all communities protected in Britain? He went on to brand Starmer two-tier Keir. So tonight I'm asking, who is telling the truth about what's really going on our streets? Is it Elon Musk or is it Keir Starmer? Let me know your thoughts. Go to gbnews.com/yoursay. Tweet me at GBNews. While you're there, go and vote in our poll. But first, going head-to-head on this are the founder of Fair Cop, Harry Miller, and the editor of newsleaf.com, Raza Hussain. Both of you, thank you very much. Great to have you both on the show. Look, Harry, I'll start with you. You know, Elon Musk has been accused of being in charge of a platform that's been spouting fake news and inflaming tensions. You know, whose side are you on when it comes to this?
Well, I'm not entirely sure that Elon Musk is right when he says civil war is inevitable, because it's not inevitable in this country. We're English, after all. But he is correct when he calls Keir two-tier Keir. Without a shadow of a doubt, we have got a two-tier policing system and have had a two-tier policing system for many, many years. The reason that Fair Cop exists is to expose and to challenge this two-tier policing system. All of it is based upon one form or another of identity politics, be that race, be that religion, be that sexual orientation, or be that gender. Now, you are absolutely fine and safe in this country, providing you stick to the script. But the second you deviate from it, you can expect a knock on the door from a police officer. For instance, Lindsay Smith in Newcastle, a lesbian Newcastle United fan, had the gall to say that she was LGB, not LGBT. And two police officers came and threatened her with arrest because she had offended the teapot of the LGBT identity politics. Okay. Then it gets even worse. In Newcastle 2 weeks ago, the Chief Constable, Vanessa Jardine, marched together with a whole bunch of people who were calling for intifada, who were shouting no pride in genocide, and behind flags where they were waving Palestinian flags. Now, that is two-tier policing. You cannot march like that and claim the moral high ground.
All right, Harry, I'll come back to you. Raza, I'll bring you in now. I've just been told we do actually just have a little clip now of Keir Starmer being asked about Elon Musk, so we'll play that and I'll get your reaction off the back of it. So.
What's your message to Elon Musk?
Our first duty has to be to our communities to keep them safe. That is my sole focus.
OK, all right. So, Raza, do you think that Elon Musk has, I suppose, helped to keep communities unsafe, really?
Well, Elon Musk has done some great work when it comes to Tesla, SpaceX and Starlink. It's absolutely wrong with his recent comments. And he doesn't understand Britain's domestic politics, Britain's race relations and Britain's communities. For example, when was the last time he actually went to Southport, where the unfortunate stabbings took place? When was the last time he actually went to one of the places where some of the worst riots have been happening in the past, since the last decade? When was the last time he went to one of the places where some mosques have been attacked? His intervention just shows that he doesn't have the political knowledge of Britain. And Keir Starmer is right. Keir Starmer is right because he understands that there are certain communities that are under threat right now from rioters, from far-right thugs, and he's speaking the will of the British public. A YouGov poll today came out saying that most of British people say that the rioters should be described as thugs, rioters and racist. And when Keir Starmer made that press conference, that's what he was relaying to the British public. So Elon Musk should understand that because of the great work he has done in other areas of SpaceX and Tesla and Starlink, his sort of knowledge has certain restrictions.
OK, all right, I'll come back to you as well. Harry, I'm just going to bring up on the screen now a couple of things that I think potentially might illustrate Elon Musk's points for him. So this was a report from the BBC after last night's incidents in Birmingham. Cars and pub attacks in Birmingham. Now, that basically failed to mention who was doing that attacking, right? And who was actually responsible for those incidents in a way that I don't think they would have done had that all been the far right. There's also a report from The Guardian that was an overview of some of the incidents that took place last night. They mention a few different bits and bobs there. They've got Belfast, they've got, in light of the Southport stabbings they mentioned. They've got Neil Basu, a former head of the counter-terror police, talking about, right-wing violence. They've got Plymouth there. They didn't mention Birmingham, right? Again, so there is an argument to say that you only get, the full truth, really, from Twitter, from X, Harry.
No, that's absolutely right. Twitter is a great voice for the marketplace. The reason that the liberal elite don't like it is because it gives the lumpen proletariat, the demos, the ordinary working class person, a voice in the nation. And that's why they don't like it, in all honesty. It's not that it's particularly dangerous, because there is as much truth to be found on Twitter as there is falsehood. That is the nature of a marketplace. Now, it would help if we had politicians who would tell us the truth. For instance, Keir Starmer seems absolutely incapable of seeing Islamist violence when it occurs. He's not the only one. We've had repeated politicians who have refused to see or name Islamist violence when it occurs. We have the obscene instance this week of a police officer addressing a crowd of Muslims and saying, please take your weapons away, leave them in the mosque, because you're not supposed to have them on the street. Can you imagine a police officer standing in front of a right-wing group and saying, guys, just leave your weapons down at Wetherspoons. You can pick them up later. It just wouldn't happen. And the politicians that we have are incapable of naming one of the problems. Okay. One of the problems is Islam.
OK, all right, that's your views, obviously. Raza, I'll bring you in on this now, because there is a point to be had there, isn't there? Which is that if there is a sense that a prime minister, a political class actually really, and real elements of the establishment media are unwilling to give us the full picture or name certain things actually that many people can see happening with their own eyes, then it does fall onto things like reactionary social media to get these video clips and to get that. My point being, if you just read The Guardian today, potentially, or you just looked at the BBC website last night, you actually would not have known who was doing some of the incidents in Birmingham. You could be forgiven for thinking it was only the far right out, And is that not where Elon Musk is right to be providing that platform?
I mean, most of the violence in the past few days have been staged by far-right thugs, as the Prime Minister said. You keep quoting the example of Birmingham. What happened in Birmingham was wrong. The police should deal with it. But the violence has been going on since the 30th of July. And that's where the focus should be right now. All violence is wrong. And what happened in Birmingham, as I said, is totally wrong. But here's what Elon Musk does. He brought back some of the people that were previously banned on Twitter. I myself have been subjected to far more xenophobia, racism and Islamophobia on Twitter compared to the previous ownership of the platform. The things he does not have a degree in British politics. He does not understand British politics. He's sitting at his keyboard typing away a few things, adding fuel to the fire. He just doesn't understand it. He should just sit it out, concentrate on his science and his innovative projects, and just let the adults in the room deal with it.
OK, look, both of you, thank you very, very much. It was good head-to-head, that. And I think, the point of agreement in all of it is I think we can all agree that we don't want to see any violence and we don't want to see any continuation of any nastiness on the streets of Britain or indeed anywhere else. So thank you very much, both of you.